Hi there. I'm Mark Kirby, founder of GoEngage, the all-in-one platform to maximize your marketing and engagement results. I want to give you a bit of an introduction to how that GoEngage platform works. Now, you would be right to ask the question, can I see how the platform works? I want to see how easy it is to use. That is because when we typically make a technology purchasing decision, we're used to taking on tools that we need the reassurance it's easy to use, easy to install, easy for the team to adopt, and then make that critical business decision about how much impact it will have on the internal resource, how technically complicated and intuitive it is for the team to ensure continual use, and therefore maximize the return on investment. CRM systems or contact management systems are especially important in this evaluation, as normally they are the front of house system that is used throughout the day by employees. But this is where the GoEngage platform is different. We've set up our offering to break the norm, actually what business owners ideally want, so the results, but without the disruption. If they had the choice, they wouldn't want to have to bring in any significant impact or change to their day-to-day business team activities. Before I take you through a peek into the back end of the GoEngage system, I want to share with you how our approach is different to the typical technology solution. Let me set the stage a bit on how GoEngage is different to what you're used to. So does this ring true? Have you already spent a huge amount of time and money on marketing campaigns, building websites and building lists, online marketing, sales activity? If you've been marketing your business for a while, bet your cost per lead and cost per acquisition is going up. We're seeing it with how the price is increasing with the Facebook and Google marketing. You want things to change, but with a minimal impact. You don't want the expense of having a full-blown outsourced solution. You still want to be in control of your marketing and understand what's going on. And you don't need lots of new shiny toys. Really, you want the results. You want more appointments, you want more qualified leads, and you want more people to say they want to do business with you. You don't want to spend more money on marketing. You want to see the money you're already spending giving you better returns. Let me explain the GoEngage system and why systems work. So let's pretend I invite you around for dinner. I've got a few choices. I could cook for you. I could get all the best ingredients. I could have all the best cookware, the best ovens and appliances, etc. I could have a cookbook from a top celebrity chef, and I could make that meal for you. But I promise you one thing, it won't taste great. I'm not a chef. So my other alternative, I take you to a restaurant that's got a good reputation, good service, great food, and we know we're going to have a great time. But it's going to be a hell of a lot more expensive. So somewhere in the middle is where we're positioning our offering here. So let's imagine in this food context, it's the HelloFresh or the Mindful Chef. The best ingredients that you need are given to you. The step-by-step instructions are there. It's very simple to actually put the meal together, but it tastes great. So let's put that into the context of what we're doing. You've got the tools, and this is what we're used to all of the time. There's hundreds of great tools out there that do exactly what you need, anything from document signatures through to CRM, through to funnels, through to website builders, video tools, etc. And they're all great, but they all work on their own, or to make them all work together is quite complex and can become quite costly. So the other option, if we don't want to have the hassle of doing it ourselves and trying to learn new tools and introduce them into the team, is to outsource the whole thing. And in a marketing context, that would be to say a marketing agency. So that goes from being a DIY service to a DFY service, a done-for-you service. The digital marketing agency would deliver a great service and give you the results you want, but that's a huge multiple of cost than you trying to do it yourself. Where GoEngage sits is we provide the systems that are done with you that sits in the middle. So we have a collective of all of the tools all in one platform that brings everything under one hood, that gives you the results that you would hope from a marketing agency, but without the cost. We provide the whole setup and systems ready to go on the rails, delivered so that it works out of the box. If we break marketing down, there's lots of different ways and methodologies to do this, but let's make this really simple. So when we're trying to create new customers, we're first of all attracting prospects, then converting those prospects into customers, and trying to get lifetime value from those customers by retaining them. And we have an approach which sits underneath this called the R6 approach. And underneath attract, we have reach and reputation. Underneath convert, we have response and remarketing. And under retain, we have reliability and reselling. Now let's put those into a pyramid format and reshuffle them to put a bit of context into how they all work together. So let's have a look at the R6 framework. So this triangle is taking all of those R6 elements and arranging them into their priorities. At the bottom of the pyramid is what we call the reliability. This is really something that's down to the business rather than a marketing function. And that is, what is the experience of using the business? If you were a restaurant, for instance, it would be, what's the food like? What was the service like? What was the environment like? Did I feel special? All of those feelings and experiences then create the reputation. You go on and tell other people about your experience, or you go on to their review site. That could be Google reviews, or it could be TripAdvisor, and then a reputation is created for the public to see. Next on the pyramids, we have the response. How responsive are you to opportunities from prospects and customers? What's your opening hours? How can people contact you? Is it by phone? Is there a booking system? Can they get you on mobile? Can they get you on websites? How easy is it for people to use the various tools, and how responsive are you when they actually use those tools? Sitting above that, we have resales. How are you maximizing now that customer's lifetime value by creating a continued relationship? What kind of promotions are you doing that keeps them wanting to come back for more? How do you stop them wandering off to other options and other competitors providing a similar service to yourself? And then we have remarketing. So as much as you're trying to encourage repeat business, what other services and what other products we can educate customers with that they may not know that we provide? So if it was a restaurant, do you do catering at home, or do you do catering for parties, etc.? It's that remarketing and engaging with your converted customer that's already established that they like what you do. How do we get more engagement, and ultimately how much more business we can get out of them? And then the apex of the triangle is the reach. And this is actually the bit that we spend the most time worrying about, which is, how do we attract more customers? How are we advertising to them? The Facebook marketing, the Google marketing, the flyers, the posters, whatever it might be. And actually, if you go to a marketing agency, typically that's the bit they focus on. But actually, hopefully you can see from this illustration that unless you have the other elements underneath the reach working well and in sync, then all you're doing is spending a lot of money trying to get the reach, trying to get that attraction, when actually there's a lot more value that can be created by working the reputation, the reliability, the response mechanisms, and the resales of other services and products. And so that's what we focus on, is the whole pyramid, not just that top apex. So what about the platform itself? Well, basically, it's your all-in-one complete business toolbox. And these are the summaries of the key features. There's actually 60 features, and that's growing by the week. All the things that you need in order to create comprehensive, cradle-to-grave marketing and engagement support service. From CRM to building websites to customer communications, calendar management, analytics and reporting, call management, marketing automation, social media management, and now empowered by AI and automations. And actually, that's the part that really makes this special. So what is the GoEngage difference? Well, let's take you through the process. We start by auditing your business and looking at the opportunities for improvement that will gain the quickest return on investment. Not every business is the same. Not everyone has the same strengths and weaknesses, but we do a very simple review to understand where we can employ the right improvements from the start and focus on those. What we're not proposing is just throwing at you this huge toolbox with all these different features and tools. What we want to do is isolate where can we make the best bang for the buck from the word go. Once we've understood that and we've agreed, that we then set up the key features that will deliver results to work for your business out of the box. So typically we'll start with 2 or 3, and we know that those 2 or 3 will be the ones that will give you immediate impact and best return on investment. And typically you'll see the results within weeks, and certainly within the first 30 days. Our platform is a hybrid of some of the best of breed systems out there, all integrated to work seamlessly together. And what that means is you've just got one place, one resource, one team, one customer service center in order to have all of the things that you need for all the touch points in your business all happening together. Our focus is on the result, not about providing shiny toys and distractions to your business. You want to focus on what you're doing best, which is providing the service or products to your customers. But actually, what we want to do is just to give you the result to work with. So an example would be the AI chatbot would work with your customers, answering their FAQs, and then qualify them, and then would move them into an appointment in your diary. You just look at your diary and see it as an appointment. We have monthly success calls with you, and that's where we look at what we can improve. So as I say, this is about having a steady rollout of features and improvements that are manageable within your business, but constantly evolve to give you continued improved results. The system can grow as the business needs. We have calls with you every month to check the results, make sure you're happy with how things are going, discuss improvements, discuss tweaks, and where we see opportunities to add more layers of capability, that's where we can agree and start to get those planned and rolled out. Our model is not about selling new technology. It's about creating lifetime value with you as a customer. Let's look at a few valuable capabilities of the platform. So first of all, you've got dashboards, and this gives you a one-stop look at all the key KPIs for your business. So that could be what's happening within your sales funnel, what's the opportunities that have been closed, what's the value of those opportunities, the conversion rate of your campaigns, etc. So next is the opportunity pipeline, where you can see all of your leads in one place and be able to see how they're progressing from being leads right through to paid for clients. This gives us some really strong information. We can see where things are working and where things can be improved in terms of getting the conversions and the ratios better in the different stages of your pipeline. We use automation to support the progression of leads through there. So where we can use automated contact through email, SMS, or WhatsApp, we'll have that working in the background, encouraging the progression of your leads, unless it's better for them to have contact from a member of your team. Web chat, this is such a powerful one. Basically, we can take your existing website and with very little interference, we can add an AI-powered web chat. It's 24/7. It doesn't have shifts. It doesn't go ill. It's always there. It can deal with spikes in business. The responsiveness is instant. There's common tonality in how it's answering your customers. We train the bot to be like your best employee that's had months of training. So we put all the knowledge in. We give it the training of what the objectives are, and that's bespoke to how you want your business to work. So if you want the bot to be offsetting the low-hanging, frequently asked questions, that can be done. If you want them to be qualifying prospects and seeing how we can move them into being an appointment or booking a discovery call, we can do all of that as well. And we are collating the data on those customers as that conversation is automatically happening as well. The unified inbox is a fantastic way of being able to use all the modern forms of communication and see everything happening in one place. If there's been contact by telephone, SMS, or WhatsApp, or Facebook DM, or email, Instagram, etc., you have one area per contact to see the chronology, no matter how that contact has come in or out. Let's look at client nurturing and reactivation. Most businesses spend a lot of time and effort generating inquiries. And if they don't convert those inquiries in their first contacts, they're not worked to the best potential of converting those to customers. We put in automated processes underneath without anyone having to be involved that continues nurturing those prospects until we actually find out whether they are the right customer for you and move them into the sales process or elevate them through the sales pipeline. If they're not qualified, we can put them into another behavior, perhaps having monthly newsletters or periodical contact. We create the workflows and help with the content and make that all happen in the background, so minimizing the impact that your team have to get involved in the process. And the same with database reactivation. You may have records of all the contacts you've had over the last few years. What are you doing with those? That data's going stale, but it's actually valuable. So what we can do is we can look at sorting that data, profiling the data, cleansing the data, and then start drip campaigns either by email or WhatsApp or SMS or a combination of, and start to try and regenerate interest on a controlled drip campaign basis in order to start getting value back out of those leads that you've already spent the money on generating in the past. Missed call text back is a pretty new and a clever feature. Most phone numbers, certainly businesses in the UK, I believe the figure's 44% of business calls are missed. That seems extraordinarily high, but it is true. There are calls that just aren't answered. There can be times when your agents are all busy. There can be times when customers are trying to ring out of hours, etc. There's a huge opportunity that you've paid for those people to be calling you, where we can try and resuscitate or try and bring back the interest without them going to competitors or finding other options in terms of who they can place their business with. So any missed call is automatically sent a text to try and win them back. And it can be a simple message such as, sorry, missed your call, or we'll call you back in a few minutes, just with another client at the moment, or employed with AI to actually continue the conversation if the customer engages and still try and progress them into contact with a salesperson or booking in a diary for a discovery call, etc. This really is a game changer. Just imagine being able to bring back 10% of those business calls that are missed. Social media management. You either love it or you hate it. If you're my generation, it's something we've all had to adapt to. It wasn't there when I first started building businesses, but it is part of the fabric of every business now. So whether we like it or not, we have to manage our social media profiles. So a typical business owner who's not come from this modern social media world may have a go at it, may suddenly realize I need to put some posts up, and then it will be quiet for the next 2-3 weeks until the guilt comes back again, and then suddenly there's another surge of posting. So there's two situations that we got here. One is the time and effort to actually go into all of these different tools. Secondly, is about trying to get consistency in how the social media is presented. So we have a tool that basically allows you to forward calendar all your posts for as far in the future as you want, and for it to be one post that can be posted into whichever platforms you want. So whether you want it just to go into Instagram and Facebook or into LinkedIn and TikTok, you can decide in one go exactly how you want to plan your social media, and it's all set there ready to go in the background. Automations is really important for how the tool will work for you. As I said right at the beginning, what we want is it to be really low touch for your staff and team, but high touch for your customers. We do that by creating workflows and automations that work in the background, allowing your team to do what they do without having to worry about trying to be marketing experts. So this is an example of, say, a health coach or a physio business. The AI bot would book a discovery call. An automatic email is sent to confirm that, or it could be an SMS. That discovery call is made. The client agrees to the package. Once that agreement is made, then a contract is automatically sent to the customer with an electronic signature. Customer returns that document with a signature. We can ask for payment automatically. The customer fulfills that payment. And then if there's any particular paperwork that needs to follow on for that, then that can be sent on automatically, personalized to that customer. And let's say there is an appointment for a meeting. All the reminders and the appointments are put into each other's calendars. Reminders are sent by text or by email in advance to make sure you don't get the no-shows. So this is an example of an automation, but it could be an automation that happens when a new lead comes in. For the next 3 months, if we've got their email or their other contact details, we can have an evergreen automation service where they get content that could be seasonal, educational, or trying to encourage them to select your services. Reputation has gone beyond just being word of mouth. Now we have to realize that reputation is something that happens on the digital domain as well. So I'm sure you've done it yourself. If you've done a search for a particular service or a product or a company, you've looked down the listings, and one of the things you'll do is look at ratings. How many stars do they get? How many of those ratings are there? And what's the comments that have been provided with those star ratings as well? Trying to gather those reviews is extremely important. We create an automation that happens without you having to get involved. We contact your customers, ask them for their review, and if it's a good review, that goes straight onto your Google listing. If it's something where we can see that we've had a bit of a letdown in terms of service delivery, we redirect that right back to your team in order to resolve. What you don't want is the bad experience to go onto the web without you having any opportunity to be able to rectify it. So by having this automation in place, you're getting more 4 and 5-star reviews populating your Google, and more opportunity to get the feedback and to turn around those customers that might not have had that good a service as you would want to promise. And with the platform, you have a mobile app, so you don't need to be sitting in front of the laptop or a computer to get the system providing you the feedback and information that you need. You have it in your pocket when you're on the go as well. Let's have a look at an example timeline of what happens when you decide to become a customer. Well, the first thing, obviously, we have to have the commercials in place. But within a week, we would have already put the onboarding process into place. And that typically is 2 one-hour Zoom calls. The very first one is more of a technical nature. That's where we look at what systems you already have in place. We look at the technical settings that are specific to your business, and then we take those away and get those set up. The second Zoom call is the initial training. That's where any of your key employees that you want to be having interaction with the system, we provide an hour's training, and that gives them enough of an orientation to feel comfortable to use the system themselves. Following that, your account manager will contact your lead and look at the services we have agreed as being the initial services that are going to make the most impact and deliver you the most value straight away from the launch of the system. So within the first 2 weeks, we should be looking at those services going live. Now, the services that we choose to go live, you should be seeing immediate impact with and results. To support that, we give a service review at the end of the first month. And of course, at any point you want to give us a call and you have any questions, we are there to provide that. We actually have a 24-hour customer support service on chat, or if necessary, a live Zoom call can be arranged. Our account manager will call you after 30 days and look at the results from before you had the system employed and what you are starting to see after the 30 days. And you also have the opportunity at that point to enable our 30-day no quibble guarantee. If you're not happy with the results so far, you can cancel and we will refund all of the costs that you've incurred so far by our service. After that, every month, we will have an account review for 15-20 minutes, looking at the results that you're achieving. When we feel we've got the best results and everything's working with those initial services, we can then look at introducing more services and features. As I said earlier on, we have about 60 different tools in the toolbox. To try and turn them all on would be too disruptive to your business and too much of an overload for everyone involved. We want to have an introduction of the services that work for you, are going to be of least disruption and get the best results. So our focus is making sure the impact on your team is minimized. They just focus on the results, the appointments that are in the calendar, the phone calls generated, the email requests that come through. We make sure that the automation and the AI does all of the heavy lifting in the background, so you don't have to have a team of computer experts trying to get the results. That's what we do. We set it up and make sure it works with minimal impact from yourselves, but maximum attraction to your customers. Let me now show you a bit about the system behind the scenes. Okay, when you load up the GoEngage platform, this is the dashboard you're greeted with. So this gives you a snapshot of all of the key information relevant to your marketing and engagement. You've got the opportunity status. You can see what's won, lost, or open. We have funnels. We can see the value of what's in the pipeline, what outstanding tasks we have, the lead sources, and the status of those leads, Google Analytics information about your website, and through to any kind of advertising campaigns you may have happening with Google or Facebook. So if I click on Launchpad, this is where we see all of the key integrations that we set up at the beginning. So you have things such as downloading the mobile, connecting with your Google My Business, Facebook integration, WhatsApp integration, Stripe for payments, and also this is where you can set up more team members. Then if we go on to conversations, This is where we have what we call the unified inbox. This is an amazing feature where we can see all of the conversations, doesn't matter what channel they've come through, whether they're inbound or outbound, all consolidated into one area. If we look at Richard here, for instance, we can see that there's a conversation that hasn't been read. If we go up to the top, what we're looking at here, this is actually a chatbot conversation. So this gives you an idea of how the AI works. If we go to the top there, there's obviously a greeting. This is the chatbot on this side, asking for Richard's name. This is in a demo context of a health nutritionist. The chatbot handling all the conversation, and then we scroll on down, we can see that we start going into the chatbot encouraging an appointment. And then when the appointment times and dates have been agreed, then it automatically creates an appointment both in your own diary and obviously sends an appointment invite to Richard's diary here as well. This is consolidating not just a chatbot, but it could be SMS, WhatsApp, manual live chats, emails, even phone conversations, all in one chronology for each contact. So under calendars, you can have as many calendars as you want. It can be the user calendars or it can be specific calendars, and you can create new appointments straight into the diary and send invites off to your contact. So under contacts, this is where you'll see all of the contacts that you have in your list. You can sort them, you can filter them. You can have smart lists, which basically just automatically filter. So in this instance, these are people that haven't had contact in the last 30 days. As many smart lists as you want. If I actually go into a record, let's have a look at Eddie Edwards. So you have all of the key information down the side here. And this can be arranged as you like with whatever information and fields that you want to see present. Then we have an overview of that conversation flow, the unified inbox in the center panel here. And then we have a whole load of tags here, which allow us to see things such as activity, if there's any tasks that are pending, any notes that are associated to that record, any appointments that are booked, any documents here. And we can see, for example, Eddie's had a coaching plan and he's signed off the T's and C's. We can see all that information here. We also have an electronic signature capability, so any signed documents would also be posted there. And you can also store credit card details and take payments. Under opportunities, you basically have a sales pipeline. You can create as many sales pipelines as you like. We've just got one here for the demo, but we can see in the pipeline stages exactly where any of the opportunities are, the value of them, and then you can hot link into certain things such as any tasks that are associated with that record. We can see there's some outstanding objectives there for Richard. And if we have progressed from a new booking to a sale, we can then just move contact across line. Payments would be for any payments that you want to collect. You can create invoices and estimates. You can store your documents up here. Any orders, subscriptions, any payment links, coupons and discounts, etc. So those are all set up here. And then you can actually create a payment or an invoice directly from this screen here. Marketing has several really amazing features. First of all, we have a social planner. So this is where you can schedule posts for any social media accounts that you have. So in this example here, we've just got a Facebook page for holistic medicine. You can either go in and have a look at the post been created or has been scheduled, or you can go to the calendar view and you can see what has also already been placed or published, and you can create a forward calendar of other social media campaigns that you want to line up for the future. And you can select which of the social media accounts you want that to be posted to. So some content you might only want to go to LinkedIn, others you might want to go to Facebook and to Instagram. Automations. This is where we do a lot of the work for you. You have the opportunity to create your own automations, but what we want to do is to give you the platform on rails. So we would look at the specific things that you want to have working in the background that you haven't had any involvement. This could be anything from creating nurture campaigns, or it could be reactions to if a lead comes in or a live chat. So for example, if I have a look at a nurture campaign, this is an example of a workflow that we would create. So if a new lead came in, they'd be sent an email. We'd wait a day for it to be opened. If it wasn't opened, we follow up with a second one. And depending on the behaviors, if they've opened it or they haven't, or they've unsubscribed, then they were taken down the particular path. And this is an example of how we would create a nurture campaign or potentially a reactivation campaign for your database. Under sites, we actually have quite a few features here. The first, you can create funnels. So an example of a funnel would be, this is behind the scenes, how you can see we can build a funnel, and we have hundreds of templates which give you a good start. And if you want to be able to see how the funnel looks, you can give a preview. And this is a template here. So if we wanted to claim our special discounts, we click on there and it creates a form, and that's an example of how a basic funnel can be created. We also have the ability to create websites, and there's an unlimited number of websites you can create, same with funnels. So here's an example of a template. It's a very easy to use builder, very similar to other systems like Wix, etc. There's hundreds of templates again, and you can use those. You can color them to your own colors, add your own logos, put your own images in, alter the text. Within a very quick amount of time, you can have a website up and running. You can also have an e-commerce store, have analytics, you can create blogs. If you have a WordPress site, that can be hosted on our system as well. And you can create things like client portals, forms, surveys. This is where we set up the chat widgets. The new feature is QR codes, especially good for physical premises where people might come in, and you can have a QR code which will allow them to scan the phone and leave, say, a Google review. Kind of mentioned that we can create portals. So these portals could be for hosted courses, and these can be behind a paywall or they can be free. You can manage the membership accordingly, or you can create your own communities, a little bit like a private Facebook group. Any media storage, this is typically logos and graphics for your website or for your emails. We can manage your reputation as well. We have a system or workflow to be able to get you as many Google reviews as possible, and you can see basically a dashboard of how well that activity is happening. And then we have things, just to wrap up, such as reporting. This is your Google Ads report, so you can see where your leads are coming in from, what the spend has been, what the cost per click and the cost per acquisition is. And then we have an app marketplace where we have integrations with dozens of different other third parties. And then finally, we have a link to be able to download either the Android or the Apple app. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of the system and how we actually present the system for our clients. If you have any questions, please get in contact with us. My name is Mark Kirby. You can contact me at mark@goengage.co.uk. I look forward to hearing from you.